me to do this, I decided that Jackie should have the optimal time. So, okay, let's do our offering mandala. So make the mudra if you know what it is. Here is the great earth filled with the smell of incense and covered with a blanket of flowers. The great mountain, the four continents, wearing a jewel of the sun and the moon. In my mind, I make them the paradise of a Buddha and offer it all to you. By this deed, may every living being experience the pure world. Idam Guru Ratna Mandalakam Niratayami. I go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha until I achieve enlightenment. By the power of the goodness that I do in giving and the rest, may I reach Buddhahood for the sake of every living being. I go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha until I achieve enlightenment. By the power of the goodness that I do in giving and the rest, may I reach Buddhahood for the sake of every living being. I go for refuge to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha until I achieve enlightenment. By the power of the goodness that I do in giving and the rest, I will reach Buddhahood for the sake of every living being. Okay, let's start with rejoicing. And let me get the gallery view up here. Okay, who's going to rejoice first? Natalia, you go ahead and rejoice first.
My rejoicing is that I have created some wonderful images that I'm using in Telegram chat for our class and for also Swanson Tower groups. So I'm very happy. I was really happy when I made them, and I'm happy that so many people like them.
Oh, good. I need a better background for me. So
okay, I can make you
something, let's see, maybe something jungly.
Okay.
Okay, next on my list is Svetlana.
She is in the translated book, but I don't know if she can switch. She's translating to Russian right now.
Oh, okay. Well, Jackie, you're up next.
Thank you, dearest Lama, Sumati, and friends. Deeply grateful to be here. And I've been living with my family to help them to move house and to take care of everyone, to make sure that they stay healthy and safe, and that we all look after each other through the journey of moving house, which can be very stressful. So trying to bring the calmness and love and peace to my family.
Good. Well, that's going to assure that you have that in the future, which is always nice. Okay. Let's see who's next. How do I pronounce it? Good. Nagon? How do
Me,
I
right?
Yeah. How do I pronounce your name?
Yes, you can call me Juan.
Juan.
Yeah.
Okay. Juan, you're up.
Sorry. Okay. Today I am so happy that I can wake up early to attend this class.
Well, I get up at 4 in the morning twice a week to teach to Malaysian students, so I appreciate the struggle to get up. Trouble is, I got to bed at 2 o'clock last night, so I've got 2 hours of sleep. But what the heck? Okay.
I was inspired by your story last week, so I decided to wake up. Okay.
Well, thank you. I hope you enjoy the class.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Now, Katya, you're on the, wait, one more time. Who's who?
I'm Katya.
There, Katya. Okay, you should always sit in that position. then I don't have to worry about knowing which one. Okay, Katya, what do you have to rejoice in?
Yeah, I rejoice. My rejoicing is that I have meditate all the week, every day. Every day in the week, I did my meditation, and I've been on more discipline with my practice this week.
Good. Good for you. Be sure to dedicate that each time you meditate or perform your practice. Be sure to dedicate it. Okay, Sheila.
I'm rejoiced to be here. I don't speak English very well. I understand better than I speak, and I am doing the effort to be here and understand everything. The last class, I have to look another time the video to capture the things that I don't in class, and this is my rejoice.
Oh, good. Well, thank you, Natalia, for providing the.
Yes, thank you.
That's a huge, huge help. Okay, Tatiana.
Татьяна, если хотите, скажите по-русски, я переведу. Татьяна is probably not speaking English, but I can translate for her if she's
Okay,
able.
so go ahead, Tatiana. Or no.
Maybe it's late. In Russia, it's like after midnight.
Okay.
Здравствуйте, вы про меня говорите?
Да, Татьяна, про вас. Если
Я
хотите,
извиняюсь, у меня темно, потому что спит ребенок.
А
Я
с-
радуюсь, что я могу ухаживать за своим сыном. Он у меня особенный, инвалид. И радуюсь, что сегодня я смогла делать уборку в квартире, чистоту навела для всех своих домашних. Радуюсь быть с вами сегодня на этой встрече.
Thank you. So she's saying that she apologized that it's dark in her camera because her son is asleep in the same room, so she doesn't have her camera on. And she's rejoicing that she's able to take care of her son who is with special needs. And she's also rejoicing that she was able to clean her apartment and today, and she's very happy to be here with us.
Oh, we're happy to have you. We'll try and be quiet, but I have to talk. Okay, Evgeny. Do you have something to rejoice in?
Да, конечно. Я очень рад присутствовать на этом занятии, и я очень уважаю и люблю Ламу Сумати. Я слушаю, наверное, уже 5-й курс, но ламрим — это особенная вещь, и я никогда не слышал первый ламрим, поэтому мне просто одна большая честь и радость быть здесь и записывать эти знания и передавать другим. Это просто огромная радость и большая честь для меня. Спасибо большое.
Evgeny is very happy to be here. He is a huge fan of Lama Sumati. It's his 5th course that he is listening with Lama Sumati, and he's rejoicing that he is able to record and help this class to be seen by other people. And he's
good.
very happy.
Thank you, Evgeny, for doing that. And Becky, you're the last but not least. Yes, I'm excited for Detroit. I follow the Chiefs and the 49ers, but I'm excited for Detroit. I hope that'll work out. Okay. One thing I wanted to mention, I've been asked by several students to teach the Source of All My Good meditation module soon. I gave them several weekends, and they can choose which weekend they want, and then I'll teach that. So if any of you are interested, I should have more information in another week or so. It's a wonderful, wonderful weekend teaching one that I enjoy very much to give. So we'll try and make the times amenable to everybody. What's the time? So it's 4 o'clock. It's 4 a.m. Saturday in Vietnam. Okay, so it's 2 p.m. here, 4 a.m. Vietnam. And Jackie, what time is it at your place?
It's 8:11 a.m. on Saturday morning in Australia.
Okay. And Guadalajara, it's 3 o'clock? Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll do our best to figure something out. Okay. So we did rejoicing. I did get 3 questions from students that I'd like to spend some time answering. I won't say the name of the student just in case they might be embarrassed with the question. So first question was, speaking about the first problem of meditation, laziness, how does one develop faith in meditation practice and overcome a sense that you are not good enough to meditate? First of all, thank you for your question. And this answer is a little bit long, but I think it covers your request. One of the many things that attracted me to Buddhism was a personal responsibility I have for my progress. It's up to me how well I do. It's not up to some God to say you're doing well or not. One of the dedication prayers says, by the goodness of what I've just done, may all beings complete the collection of merit and wisdom and thus gain the 2 ultimate bodies that merit and wisdom make. Collection of merit is caused by practicing the perfections of giving, ethical living, and patience. The collection of wisdom is caused by the practicing the perfections of meditation and wisdom. The order of the perfections is important, with meditation being number 5 and wisdom number 6. So if I want to reach wisdom, the direct perception of emptiness, I must learn to meditate. And in order to meditate well, I need to practice the other 4 perfections. So the reason we meditate is because it's such an important tool for our practice. If we don't meditate well, we're never going to see emptiness directly in this life anyway. And since our goal is to see emptiness directly and become totally enlightened, meditation is a critical component, critical tool. As for not being good enough to meditate, I wasn't quite sure what was meant by that. But you're one in a million. Well, there are very few people studying the Dharma this intently with the ACI courses. So you've developed wonderful karma to be part of the ACI system, to have access to the ACI materials. So that makes you a special person in my mind. And that means you have more than enough qualifications. You're more than good enough to study and try and learn to meditate. It's important that we all remember having access to Geshe Michael's teachings is an incredible karma for us. And the fact that we are part of it means we had very good seeds ripening. We set good seeds in the past to have such a wonderful teacher. So never doubt that you're good enough. Okay, the second question is a long one. On Tuesday, when you were explaining about the loss of lives, I send my condolences for my loss. My understanding of the concept was that their previous karma, something they did in their past, caused someone else to lose a loved one, that it ripened and they're losing their lives for me. This is in regards to my in-laws who passed away in a plane crash. Prior to class, my understanding had been that one cannot affect another person's karma, that any loss one experiences is because of one's own karma, not the other person's karma. I think I have misunderstood this concept. Could you help me to grasp it better? Sure. Another good question. I can't take your karma from you. You can't take my karma from me. In my case, an action in my past or actions in my past caused somebody to lose something they cherished. Perhaps I was careless in repairing a car, and that caused a crash, killing its occupants. That karma ripened for me as my in-laws, whom I cherished, dying in a airplane accident. I saw their death as a result of my past misdeed. I didn't kill them. I saw the results of the crash as losing two people I dearly loved. And that's because in my past, I did something that caused an equal tragedy to somebody else. Hopefully, I've only done that once, so I won't have this happen again. Well, I can't. I only have one set of in-laws, but I think you get my point. So part of this brings up this concept of how and why. So how did my lovely wife's parents die? They died in a plane crash. Why they died is because of my past carelessness. So it's very important to be able to just disseminate. For instance, medicine. Geshe is always talking about aspirin. Aspirin doesn't always work. The why, the how aspirin, when aspirin works, the how is because salicylic acid is the active ingredient, and I have the karma for it to work. So the how aspirin works, if it works, is due to that particular compound. But to make it work, I have to have helped others get pain relief or medication they needed. So the how and the why, it can easily be mixed up and make things seem self-existent. The reason we can say the how and the why works with the aspirin example is because aspirin doesn't always work to take away pain. If aspirin, the active ingredient in aspirin was alone salicylic acid, it would have to work for everybody. The fact that it doesn't work for everybody means there's another component to it working, and that component is to have the karma by having provided medicine to others, to having provided things that other people need, whether it be medicine or food or shelter or money. By providing what they needed, that empowers my karma to have the medicine work. So it's very important to remember the how and the why. Okay. Now I wanted this class to be the second class, the long room class, to be experiential. So what we're going to do, I can get my computer to cooperate. Come on, computer. Come on. Okay. So please get comfortable. We're going to do a contemplation, not really a meditation. So get comfortable, close your eyes. This is going through the 4 antidotes to laziness, to not wanting to meditate. So one of the obstacles to meditation is not just saying, oh, I don't feel like it. I'll do it tomorrow. Or my day started, I don't have time. So I liken this to think of something that you're good at now, but that you had to learn how to do. That could be playing an instrument, singing, stand-up comedy, playing a sport, dancing, video games. Something you're good at now that you weren't good at before. Learning a language, a new language would be another one. For me, I chose power volleyball. So faith, in this instance, the faith I need in order to, this is an analogy to the faith I need in order to meditate. Faith in this instance for me was I had played basketball in college for a year and realized I wasn't going to be good enough to be on the first team. And if I was going to spend time practicing, I wanted to play. So I realized that, and for a variety of reasons, transferred to a college down south in California, University of California, Riverside. So I still wanted to be active in sports. I tried throwing the javelin, but that wasn't very successful. So my brother had a friend that played on the women's volleyball team at Riverside, and I went to one of her matches. I thought to myself, I can play this, and if I get good at it, I can even play on the club team. There was no men's school team at the time. I went to several more matches and was inspired to learn. So I got up the nerve to ask her to teach me how to play power volleyball. So there was something I was interested in, volleyball. I needed someone to help me learn to play volleyball. I went to the matches. They inspired me that I did want to learn how to play volleyball, power volleyball. So then I had to work at it. I had to work hard at it. We started out with boring drills, and I was pretty clumsy at first. Timing is everything in volleyball, not so much in basketball. But when I started to use the skills I had from basketball, I quickly got the hang of it. We used to practice before classes in the morning and practice after class in the afternoon. One day, the manager of the bookstore came over and asked us if we ever went to class because he saw us in the morning and in the evening, and it looked like we just played volleyball. So the final obstacle, antidote to the obstacle of laziness, is practiced ease. So I got to the point with power volleyball that I was good enough to help form the men's club team, which became a varsity team. So how important was this in my life? First, I learned something completely new with a different set of skills, starting from no knowledge at all. And second, my coach turned out to be my future wife. Okay. So open your eyes and let's share with, if you want, share with me an example like that can get those 4 antidotes to the obstacle of laziness for you, so you don't let laziness get in the way. Anybody? Well, learning English. Sheila, learning English. That you wanted to learn English, you needed to study English. So you took on a difficult task and are now doing pretty well. So can you see how that correlates with trying to meditate?
Yes. Yes. I was thinking just that I want to speak better English and I want to understand better. And then I have to do the effort and I have to try to speak. Even I don't do perfect, but if I don't try, I never wanna speak well. And
Right.
I want to speak more because I want to be more near from you, from Sarani, and from all the lamas, because I want to learn for us, of us. I want to learn your teachings.
Well, that's good. So that's the example. So if you put meditation in that time, in that frame of mind, you want to learn to meditate. It's daunting. It's frustrating. It takes time. If you have a schedule to fit meditation into your daily routine is difficult. I find it difficult still. Today, I had classes to prepare. I was teaching early in the morning. I had exercise I needed to do some errands for my wife on my computer. So I talked myself into meditating this evening. But that's better than not meditating, but only barely. The best thing to do for your meditation practice and something you can do fairly easily is pick a time and stick to it. Now, for instance, tomorrow we're driving approximately 2 hours to a city south of Tucson where we're going to give refuge. 4 students are going to take refuge, the start of their Buddhist career, and one's going to take lifetime layperson vows. So I need to get up. I need to get up and get my practice done tomorrow morning before I go down to Sierra Vista. And I need to get back in that habit that's more important than exercise. It's more important than Dharma projects. Geshe Michael makes that very clear. So that's just something I have to develop, that habit. I had a great meditation habit before 3-year retreat. Obviously, 3-year retreat allowed me to meditate very often and on schedule. But when I started to write these books, that started to take so much of my time. I didn't put it into the schedule the way I should have. Katya, how about you? Did you have something similar?
No, well, I was thinking about I usually run, and in the first my times well, first I run slower, and then I start practicing and wishing to be better in the running. And after 1 year of practicing, I did my best times in a marathon. So I relation this with the meditation, that if I want meditate and I want to be a good meditator, I need to practice every day, first with 5 minutes, then more and more, until I have been a good meditator.
Well, that's exactly right. Running, that's a good example. You start to jog, you're slow, it hurts your knees. You wonder if you really want to do it, but you say you do. That's the goal you want. So you put in the effort, you put in the discipline You need to run every day in order to build up your strength. So that means every day you've got to run, whether you want to or not. When I used to run, we had a cross-country course across the street from us in one of the houses I lived in Tucson. And I'd get home from work and I'd change into my running clothes and go run. I didn't even think about anything else because that was a habit I got into and wanted to keep. So habits are hard to break and they're hard to form. But I need to get my habit back to meditating constantly. I really need to do that. And I'm going to do it. I am doing it. Okay. One, do you have a story to share?
Okay, my story is that I think last year I watch movies a lot, and this year because I want to study Dharma, so I changed my time from watching movie to listening to the Dharma on the knowledge base.
Good. Well, that's yeah. So you change your attention, your focus, and now there's nothing wrong with watching movies, but there should be fewer movies than Dharma classes, and try and find a movie that has some Dharma in it. I like action movies, so that I can't really say there's much Dharma in an action movie. Rats. One of my favorite movies is Princess Bride. If you haven't seen the movie Princess Bride, it's worth seeing, and the book is even better. That's one of my favorite. That's probably my wife's and my favorite movie. Okay, Becky, how about you? Okay. Tatiana, do you have a story to tell? I guess not. How about, oh, there she is.
Не могу говорить, извиняюсь. Я хотела бы поделиться, что я изучаю курс ICI прямо по плану, я иду. Но когда я изучала первый ICI, я плакала, мне он был очень тяжело давался. Но я вот встала в график и, придерживаясь графику, прохожу 3-4 курса в год. Спасибо.
So she cannot speak loudly because her son is asleep, but she's saying that her goal is to finish ACI courses, and she started doing them in order, one by one, and she was crying when she had to take the ACI one because it was very difficult for her, and now she's taking 4 courses a year. Every year she completes 4 courses.
Good. That's about the speed you should be going. When we took the ACI courses, 1 through 15, we had to do it on cassette tapes. Now, most of you aren't old enough to remember cassette tapes, but I am, and I do remember them. And we listened to the tapes. Like on a Monday, we'd listen to the class. We'd do our homework on Monday after class. We'd study on Tuesday. On Wednesday, we'd take the quiz and listen to a new class. And we did that for, for several years to get through the ACI courses. If you do it any faster than that, you won't really learn the material. Okay, Evgeny, do you have a story that you can share with us?
Да, я бы хотел поделиться историей с курсами ECI также. Как только я начал их изучать, я мало что понимал, но чуть позже я стал волонтером в ECI, и я понял, когда я стал записывать эти курсы, по ночам особенно, я понял, что, ну да, я не сплю по ночам, но мне нужно приложить усилия, чтобы другие люди могли это услышать и увидеть. И я так долго думал, выбирал между поспать и записать. Но я все-таки пересилил себя, и я понял, что-то придало мне сил, то, что я могу распространять это и помочь другим людям узнать об этом. И мне показалось, это хорошая история и хороший такой стимул и мотивация для меня.
Okay, so he's also, his story is about taking ACI courses as well. In the beginning, he was struggling, but then the opportunity came for him to be involved in recording the courses. And even though it was late at night for him, and it was difficult to stay for him up so late, he overcame it, and with the understanding that it's helping a lot of people to receive those teachings, and it became easier for him to do it like that.
Good. Well, thank you for doing that. And you're generating immense amounts of merit by doing that. So we're going to be discussing some other detailed aspects of meditation. I'm going to save that for Tuesday. This is probably the toughest, and well, logic's difficult. This is the toughest part of Buddhism for me, because you're talking about the quality of mind. And that's something I have trouble wrapping my head around, how to describe that. But we're going to do our best next Tuesday. And once we get through this part, the rest becomes a little more obvious. So bear with me, try your hardest, and set a goal, but don't make it so you add a minute a week, or a minute every 2 weeks, but do add it. So what else did I want to talk about? I mentioned the source of all my good. Well, this is a fairly short class today. Don't get used to it. They're going to get longer. I'll have more to say when I get into something I'm more comfortable with. Oh, I know. I'd like to add just a brief addition to your meditation practice. This will only take 5 minutes in the morning. This would be the start of your practice. I'd like you to take 5 minutes and count your breath. You're going to start at about 12 or so per minute. And what I want you to try and do is to slow your breathing down. Don't hold your breath. That's not what we're asking. We're asking you to start on your out breath, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, hold it, and breathe in. And that's one breath. Now, You want to count them, and you want to stay on thinking about your breath. Don't get distracted. If you get distracted, start over. You'll be surprised how quickly you can get it down to 4 or 5 breaths per minute. I once got it down to 2 per minute, but that was hard. That wasn't comfortable. But that gives you an idea on how to control aspects of your body that you need for meditation. One of my problems with meditating now is that I have this tremor. And so if I'm shaking like this and my leg's shaking, it's a little hard to stay focused. But what I found when I think about it, I can stop the tremor. Not for a long time, but I can be shaking and then stop it. So that means the tremor is as much up here as anywhere else. But that takes the concentration and the focus that we're trying to develop in meditation. So 5 minutes, and keep track of it. On Tuesday, we'll try and remember to ask how you're doing. If you can't decrease your breath down to 5 or 6 or 8 or something, that's okay. This isn't a contest. This is just a task to have you work with your body and training it to do something it doesn't want to do, just like you're going to be training it to meditate. If you're interested in the Source of All My Good retreat, let Natalia know, and she'll let me know. Briefly, what it's going to be is on Friday, it'll be a weekend. So Friday evening, we'll have 1 class. And then that'll probably be about 6 or 7 my time. Then, and 2 Guadalajara students asked for this. So it'll be based on Guadalajara's time. So Katya and Sheila, what's a good time on Friday? Because 7 p.m. okay to start?
It's perfect. 7 p.m. is perfect.
Okay, so it'll be 7 to 9. And then there'll be 3 classes on Saturday. I think 9 to 11, 1 to 3, and 7 to 9, something like that. And then Sunday, 1 class. I was thinking of having the Sunday class in the morning, but then it occurred to me that might interfere with church for some students. So we may have it. We may have it in the afternoon. But it's really a wonderful meditation. It may have a profound effect on my life. Okay, it permeates my day, the teachings. The Source of All My Good is a very short Lam Rim. And as we study the Lam Rim, if you've had the Source of All My Good teaching, I think you'll begin to appreciate the idea of the Lam Rim much more, with much greater interest. Okay, so we need to dedicate. I'll do the standard dedication. By the goodness of what I've just done, may all beings complete the collection of merit and wisdom, and thus gain the 2 ultimate bodies that merit and wisdom make. I thank you for the opportunity to teach you this material. It's a wonderful chance for me to go back and review where I came from initially in terms of my practice. And I think it's going to be an interesting journey for all of us. So have a good weekend. Go Lions. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much for teaching.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. Thank you for getting up early, Juan.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, dear Lama Sumati.
You're welcome.
Gracias.
To you. Sí, ya salió, está congelado.